At the root of much of life's suffering is our attachment to ideas, possessions, relationships, and even our own identity. From the very start, we develop a sense of ownership and entitlement, often without even realizing it. We weave our self-worth around things that are inherently temporary, creating an illusion that our happiness is tied to the stability of these fleeting attachments. But in truth, everything is in a constant state of change, and it is within this impermanence that we find the key to liberation. To truly understand detachment, we first need to understand the nature of suffering. Suffering arises when we cling to things, material items, relationships, or ideas about who we think we should be, and expect them to remain unchanged. But life is constantly evolving, and the things we hold on to will transform or eventually disappear, often leading us to feelings of loss, frustration, or sadness. Suffering isn't an inevitable part of life. Rather, it's a result of our resistance to accept the transient nature of all things. Detachment does not mean becoming disengaged from life, nor does it mean living in isolation or indifference. It means immersing ourselves deeply in each moment without the weight of expectation, without clinging to outcomes. When we detach, we embrace life fully, its joys, its challenges, and its relationships, while understanding that everything is temporary. We learn to experience without the need to hold on tightly, and in that release, suffering begins to dissolve. Our journey toward detachment starts when we realize that everything we hold dear is temporary. The money we save, the love we feel, even our physical form will one day change or vanish. While this truth may initially seem overwhelming, it carries a powerful lesson. The only constant in life is change. Once we understand this, a shift occurs within us. We start to see life not as a collection of things to own, but as a flow of experiences to appreciate. In this flow, we find freedom. In relationships, attachment often breeds some of the most profound suffering. We place our fulfillment in others, expecting them to complete us or remain the same. But people evolve, and unmet expectations lead to disappointment and ultimately to suffering. Detachment doesn't mean we stop loving. It means we love without conditions or possessiveness, free from fear of loss. Detachment also applies to our inner world, to the attachments we have to our own thoughts, beliefs, and self-identity. We often define ourselves by our achievements, failures, strengths, and weaknesses. Yet clinging to a rigid self-image creates inner conflict, as we are always changing. Detachment from the self allows us to evolve and grow, unbound by past limitations. When we let go of the need to define ourselves, we free ourselves to simply be, and this acceptance brings inner peace. Detachment gives us freedom from the burden of past mistakes and future anxieties. By releasing our constant need to control or hold on, we allow life to unfold as it is, not as we wish it to be. The Buddha taught that attachment is the root of all suffering, and to overcome it, we must embrace the truth that nothing is permanent. Detachment does not mean abandoning everything, but recognizing that happiness cannot rely on external circumstances. A powerful antidote to fear, detachment helps us face the fears that attachment fuels. Fear of losing loved ones, status, wealth, health, and even life itself. Understanding the impermanence of everything removes fear's grip, as loss becomes part of the natural flow of life. In the grand scheme, nothing is truly lost, as all things are interconnected within a cycle of change. When we detach from our physical identity and individual self, we see that we are part of something greater, something eternal. Death, then, is not an end but a transition, a continuation in the endless cycle of change. Detachment doesn't require that we renounce the world or the people in our lives. It allows us to enjoy life fully, to love and connect deeply, but with the knowledge that none of these things define our happiness. When they inevitably change or pass, we are free to let them go, free from suffering. This is the paradox of detachment. By letting go, we gain everything. To live with detachment is to live with true freedom, freedom from suffering, from fear, and from the illusion of control. It is the freedom to love unconditionally, to engage with life, and to accept change with grace. When we detach, we flow with life, finding peace as we let go of expectations and accept what is. In this flow, we are free. I hope you enjoyed watching my video. If you're still with me, please leave a comment about what resonated with you or anything you'd like to add. As always, I wish you a beautiful day.